If you don't smoke Newports, then you ain't black. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Biden administration pausing or delaying a ban on menthol cigarettes that was announced back in 2021 for a very specific reason. Now, before I go any further, let's just pop up a picture of one of the most famous brand of menthol cigarettes, Newports. This is very, very famous, and at a certain point back in the day, this was everywhere. A lot of black folks smoke these. Okay, you riding around in your Cutlass Supreme with the ashtray and the actual armrest of your driver's side door. You might have a pack of these Newports right in your pocket. 1987, 1993, your uncle or your granddaddy or your pawpaw might have had a big fat pack of the Newport 100s, hitting them like this, smoking them cigarettes, hot boxing you in the car. If you my age or right around that, you know what I'm talking about. Now, the reason why the Biden administration may have paused this is because there's a fear of losing black support. That's right. As I said from the beginning, if you don't smoke Newports in 2024, as if it is 30 years ago, then you ain't black. Now, I've heard quite a few things from this guy, Joe Biden, the racial jungle back in the day, and then the more recent, well, hey, if you don't know whether you're voting for me or for Trump, then you ain't black. They said that Charlamagne the God back in 2020 during the campaign. He said some pretty crazy things, but this one right here, delaying a ban on menthol cigarettes because it might lose you black support, is one of the craziest. Do y'all still smoke Newports? Is that still really your thing? My uncle, when I was a little boy, would smoke Newports all the time. I've not seen a pack of Newports in the wild in 20 years. Maybe I'm just out of touch. I don't know what's going on. But apparently in the White House, that's a thing. And you think I'm making it up? Let's check out our article. Okay, let's check it out. Here we go. This is Washington Examiner. Biden delays menthol ban amid 2024 concerns over black support. I am not making this up. Let's read some of this, then we're going to get to the actual original article. Matter of fact, hold on. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to this. Let's look at the original article video. And of course, I will link to this in the box. This is 2021, the menthol ban. All right. And then I think back then people were saying this is going to be harmful to the black community. Really? Banning menthol cigarettes is harmful to black people. And I don't know why they want to ban menthol specifically. Like, isn't the cigarette the actual problem? The menthol is an additive. The cigarette is the actual issue. But let's just watch some of this and come right back to the updated article. Check it out.
Today, the FDA needs to respond to a petition to ban menthol cigarettes on a national level. That push began in Northern California back in 2013 as a petition to the FDA. But after years of failing to respond, a federal judge ordered the agency to answer by today. California banned flavored tobacco products like menthol cigarettes the 1st of January. Now President Biden wants to do the same coast to coast. According to the New York Times, anti-tobacco advocates have some allies in his administration. Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra supported the menthol ban in California. Vice President Harris also supports more regulation on tobacco. And ABC 10's Zach Fuentes joins us. So Zach, a ban on menthol cigarettes, not just about health. A lot of people see this as racial injustice as well.
Oh, here we go. Here goes the racial injustice. Menthol cigarettes.
Yeah, Walton, here's why. Studies from the FDA itself have found that a little more than 85% of black smokers prefer menthol cigarettes. The tobacco industry has sponsored music and events targeted at the African-American community. And according to research from the Washington Post, the industry offers cheaper pricing on menthol cigarettes in black neighborhoods. And the FDA shared...
Hey, black folks, look, we're targeting you for the cigarettes, the menthol. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and ban that because it's unfair. You guys just can't control yourself. We got fentanyl going on right now. 100,000 people died in the U.S. from opioid overdoses. 80% of that, 90% of that is fentanyl. And the southern border is wide open. But what we're going to focus on, menthol cigarettes in the black community. But we're not going to do that because it's going to be offensive and they might not want to vote for us. The dumbest thing in the world.
research that claims that menthol cigarettes may be harder to quit than non-menthol cigarettes, particularly among African-American smokers. Now, public health advocates, including the ones part of that petition from 2013, say that banning menthol cigarettes could help save lives in communities of color. Now, here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom has weighed in on this, saying in part, quote, "I urge the federal government to follow California's leadership to protect public health and advance racial equity."
You know, California is really crazy. Okay, we're going to ban menthol flavored cigarettes in California. Meanwhile, you're giving out crack smoking kits, you're giving out needles, crack pipes, all that kind of stuff, but you want to ban menthol. So the black tar heroin, fentanyl, perk, 80-30, whatever is totally fine. But menthol cigarettes, you draw the line right there. Anything, look, all the other things are just totally permissible. Open air drug markets, but menthol cigarettes, we're going to put our foot right on the sand on that particular issue.
By moving to ban menthol flavored cigarettes. For decades, Big Tobacco has targeted and profited from black communities with marketing for minty menthol cigarettes. And as a result, smoking related illnesses are the #1 cause of death among black Americans.
Hey, are we going to talk about how Big Pharma came to Appalachia specifically and dumped a bunch of pills and they lost lawsuits against Big Pharma? Well, Big Pharma lost lawsuits against those of us that said, hey, you targeted us. Because if you guys don't know, I was born in West Virginia, right in the heart of pill country, and I've seen it affect my particular home place. So that happened, but the border's wide open, allowing the effects of Big Pharma to continue. But menthol cigarettes is a problem. Okay.
Americans. Now, according to the New York Times report, if a ban on menthol cigarettes does happen, it's likely that it could take years to go into effect and could end up in a court battle. Again, the FDA has to respond to that petition by today. We'll be sure to bring you their response.
So that's the thing. So they were trying to ban it, all right, but there's a delay because the Biden administration is concerned that it's going to affect voter turnout among the black community. So I guess the 95% rate you get for the black community isn't enough. Let's not ban menthol cigarettes because we got to get the extra 1% of guys that still smoke Newports from the 80s and the 90s to go out there and vote. We still got to get them boomer black folks who still might be alive, who are not dead from COPD or whatever, to go out there and vote for you. But anyway, let's keep on going. A 2-year-old proposal to ban menthol cigarettes may be delayed until after the election, as President Biden weighs a move that could risk eroding his support within the black community. So is it about health or is it about votes? What is it about? Because if it's about health, you would do it. The votes don't really matter, but it's about votes, not really a health thing. Anyway, the FDA first proposed banning, let's get that out the way, or can we? The FDA first proposed banning menthols and flavored cigars in April 22, but has since missed 2 deadlines for finalizing the rule, the second of which expired at the end of March. The FDA remains committed to issuing tobacco product standards for menthol cigarettes and characterizing flavors of cigars as expeditiously as possible, the agency said in the statement, noting that the process is in its final stage. As we've made clear, these product standards remain top of our priorities. But some observers say other priorities are behind the delay, namely the lack of support for the idea as the election sharpens into view. Biden's menthol ban has received praise from public health advocates who say it could save hundreds of thousands of lives. Really? Is that right for banning menthol? But the cigarettes are still going to be available, just not with the menthol in it. Anyway, the tobacco industry is also accused of disproportionately targeting the black community with its marketing the menthol cigarettes. Now, you know, one thing that's taken off, Newports, I don't really see too much of, but them vapes, oh my goodness, everybody, black, white, Puerto Rican, Candy Stripe, and a lot of young folks are addicted. I'm talking about addicted. A lot of women, I've seen quite a few young women hooked on vaping, like it's crack, like it's fentanyl, heroin, or whatever. So can we get an updated view of what's really going on? We're trying to ban stuff that was popular in the 80s, 70s, and things of this nature. I mean, what are we talking about? But hey, we can't do that because we're going to lose some of the black support. Meanwhile, fentanyl going crazy, vapes going crazy, border wide open, all kind of other pills, opiates in general coming through, black tar heroin, whatever you want, weed, all kind of crazy weed with all kind of additives and other drugs involved with it, crack looking weed. We got pretty much everything. We're legalizing shrooms, legalizing weed, legalizing crack. But menthol cigarettes, let's draw the line right there. Ridiculous. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about the ban on menthol cigarettes not going into effect until after the election, because we got to get some of those black votes? Okay, you're 70 years old and you're not dead from the 80s of smoking menthol cigarettes yet. You didn't get COPD, you didn't get lung cancer, you didn't get anything like that, and you're still kicking, rocking, and rolling. Well, go to the polls and vote for Joe Biden, okay? Vote for me. And then after the election, we're going to take care of your health, but not until then. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is ridiculous and it's racist, and the priorities are not in the right place. Okay, you want to talk about drugs and health? There's quite a few things we could do in this country to promote health, like some of our food and the food practices and the ingredients. You go overseas, go to Africa, go to Europe, go to Asia. The things that we eat over here, the way we eat over here, the ingredients that are allowed in our food are totally banned over there. They eat healthier because they're eating things that are better for them. It could be chicken and chicken, same thing, but it's different over here because of all the additives and extra stuff that we put into it. That's a big problem. And then, of course, the border being wide open, we're awash in drugs. We got drug commercials on TV. Ozempic is a crazy drug that's booming right now. People are going to have all kind of crazy, weird side effects. And don't get me started on the vax. My goodness. But hey, as long as we can ban menthol cigarettes after the election, that'd be a great step toward public health. Give me a break. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.